Bank corruption. This is a very interesting file that I want everyone to look at. As we've showed and proven with verified documents, you understand now the unlawful conversion that occurs against every man and woman. You need to also understand that your bank account is in that all capital letters, isn't it? Well, that's not you, and now you understand that. This is why Pierre Trudeau in early 70s, he had stated, it was in the Hamilton Spectator, I believe, and my mother was livid for years about it. He actually had the gall to say in public that the people own nothing. The people don't own anything. And that really pissed my parents off because, as everyone else out there, we're busting our humps trying to work and make a living, create a better life for our family and our friends. And these people that we're supposed to be representing us and are supposed to be there to protect. That's why government was created, to protect the property of man. They're making comments like this. Well, the truth of the matter is that Pierre Trudeau was telling the truth. None of us do own anything. And now this is the part that I didn't touch on within my presentation that I'm going to touch on here briefly. And this is the part that should really wake every man and woman up, especially those in law enforcement. You're putting your lives on the line every single day, and you guys don't even own a damn thing. You don't own your house. You don't own your cars. You don't own your boats. You don't own any land that you purchase. Why? Because whose identification are you using when you buy that? Now you go and look at the land records office, right? You never register anything. When you register something, give an example. If I register to play hockey, okay, all of a sudden that organization that's running it is going to send me communications, and by registering, I'm obeying, I've committed and I've agreed to abide by whatever their processes and rules and regulations for practices and whatever else we're going to be doing, timelines, games, however it's set out, I've agreed to that process by registering for that. When you register your car, your property, you are turning over your property to the Ontario government. Because go and look on the ownership of your driver's license, of your vehicle. On that car registration ownership, you're going to see that your name is in all capital letters. So you've put the Ontario government, they created that corporation in your name, you've put them on title. And you're the sucker that's paying for it all this time. That's how they're able to take your property at the side of the road, through this constructive fraud that's been created. Same with your house. Same with taxation. Who owes taxes? The service corporation that they created. It's not a service corporation, but it's their service corporation created unbeknownst to you. That's who owes taxes, not we the people. Taxation is a whole other element. You need to first understand the creation of money, which we've touched on here, restoring the Bank of Canada, because once that happens, then that is going to filter through, and these people that have been stealing trillions of dollars from our entire country for the last 100 years, all of that money is going to come back into this country. Okay? So law enforcement, any type of service that we're looking for, we're not going to have to, money's not even going to be an issue. And that is why it is so paramount that everybody comes together, as I've already stated and showed completely to law enforcement why this is their moment, why they have to come to the table now, and they have to start taking action. And this is the perfect way to do it. Okay, showing everybody. So this bank file that Brent has done, this is what happens when he went back to the court, when he went back to the bank to create the correct bank account that is his, not something that a service corporation created, because all bank accounts are in all capital letters. We attached the letter that he got from the bank as soon as he tried to do that. Okay, telling them that they're unhappy with they don't have confidence in his banking activities. Really? This man has never had one bounce check in over 30 years. He's had an enormous amount of money through income that has come through his hard work from him and his family for many years, has gone into that bank account. And then now the one time that he goes and addresses to correct the record, that he is truly the correct title holder of that bank account, this is what the bank does. They toss him out. We don't want your business anymore. Because the banks, the word bank, that's what bench means in Latin. Okay? So these judges sit on the bench. They're there representing the bank. And that's why they all wear black, people. They're not your friends. They're not honorable. They represent a society that you and I do not belong to. And this is why everyone needs to go to the banks and correct what's on the record there. Not only there, but part of correcting the record is going also to the land records office and correcting with your correct identity who owns that property. Because right now you've put on title this corporation that Ontario created, or whichever province you're in, that service corporation at that time, still to this day, is creating corporations in your name, and you're using that identification when you're buying property. You're putting them on title. So you're just the slave that's paying all the taxes, you're paying for it the whole time, and then they're able to borrow and do all kinds of nefarious things against that. And this is why our world is in the state that it's in today, because we, the people, have been lied to right across the board. When you first hear this, it becomes absolutely huge, as I've said many times. But the simplicity to fixing all of this is a piece of cake, because we have all these honorable people that are working at the land records office or the land registry office. We have all these honorable people that are working in the courthouses as court clerks, as staff. They need to understand this truth, and then they need to start looking at this paperwork that lays out what their process is, what they are supposed to do as an employee, their guides, and recognize where that line draws down the center. When a man or a woman appears, that stuff just doesn't apply. Okay? So that's the balance that we have to find with everything that we're doing, but none of it can be achieved until we ensure that the record is corrected.